They say that computers are disappearing, and that's even true in the world of laptops.
I think it's especially true in the case of laptops. So we just finished up at the Asus press conference here at Computex 2017, and just about all the laptops we've seen feel like they've been through a Stephen King plot. They're much, possibly, I would say, even freakishly thin.
They're getting thinner.
Is that what
anyway,
the book was called?
Yeah, the book's called.
Fine.
So, let's talk about the ZenBook Flip S, which the company claims is the world's thinnest convertible Ultrabook.
But not lacking for power. We should point out this is a Windows 10S machine, but it does come with a Core i7 chipset. There are options for quite a bit of RAM. I believe it starts at 16?
16 gigs.
And it does have a 4K display, which is actually really quite nice, and hardly any bezels around that display either.
Yeah, and on top of that, super thin bezels, under 7 millimeters, the bezels, and there's pen input on that as well, which can take 1024 levels of pressure. So, I mean, it's hard to believe that they've managed to cram that much tech into that slender a body.
Yeah, it feels to me to be a very capable workstation, which is especially exciting because we just saw Microsoft unveil its updated Surface Pro across the South China Sea in China. I'd be hard pressed to choose between the two.
It's really good when there is no clear winner. So when we're talking about mobile workstations, we should probably also talk about the new ZenBook Pro.
What really strikes me about the ZenBook Pro, so you don't know this about me, I was a MacBook guy. I tried to get by with that slim and sleek machine and the power was just not there, but we can't say the same about this machine, which is very, very similar in terms of dimensions.
Yes, it is very, very thin, and by God, it goes.
What really kind of gets me is the battery claims are fairly lofty. I believe they're saying it'll go for about 14 hours, which, good luck.
I mean, that's never going to happen in real life. But if they're saying 14 and they actually mean 11,
I'm still pleased as punch.
Yeah, that's enough to get you through a day of work. Whereas the companies where they're like, oh, we get 11 hours, and normally it's sort of 7-ish.
We did also get some pretty interesting mid-range machines, which is always nice because we get to play with the newest, latest stuff, but not everyone gets the really premium stuff where they live or it's not their price point. But Asus has made a really big point of taking a lot of what they've learned with those high-end devices and bringing them to more affordable price points.
We got the Vivo Book Pro, which looks like a nice machine. Like it's
4K display as well.
4K display. It starts at $799 in the US. So I mean that's quite achievable.
I am a little concerned about build quality though. So I was in there playing with it a bit. So I was up there typing on the Vivo Book Pro and getting my workflow on, generally feeling pretty good about it, but the plastic that makes up that top layer just kind of sags when you press it. Hopefully that's just a pre-production issue that gets ironed out before you're able to buy one, but if they don't, that's a potential stake in the coffin for what otherwise is a very impressive mid-range machine.
Absolutely hate it when that happens, especially when you're spending, it's not a lot of money, but also it's enough money that if there's something really obvious like that, that really puts you off.
Yeah. We did also see, which I think is fairly interesting, this bizarre router with a big blue hole. And you were kind of enamored with this big blue hole machine.
Yeah, I like it. So it's called the Blue Cave, and it's a sort of yay by yay box, and there's a hole in the middle. And Asus wants it to be a wireless router that you put on display. There are lots of routers these days where...
Sorry, a what?
Router. That's how they say it. There's lots of routers.
Okay, fine.
There's routers where you want to have it like out on display for better Wi-Fi signal, so as a consequence they've got to make them look good. And this is a nice conversation starter. The interesting thing is, the reason that there's a hole in it is there's no antenna. So what Asus did was they put like all the motherboard and stuff on the bottom, and then there's a couple of wires running up, and then the whole top half is antenna. And then the hole is basically to keep them separate and also to help with cooling the motherboard. And it will pull double duty because you can also like hold a burrito if you shoved it in the middle.
I mean, we've seen some pretty interesting looking routers over the years, but this is maybe the most avant-garde we've come across. And I'm a little surprised that Asus chairman Johnny Shi didn't really mention it on stage because he was so excited about everything else.
He's a very, so this is the first time I've ever been in the same room with him. And his enthusiasm for everything is infectious.
The energy was palpable. And also, I think this speaks very nicely to the kind of sweet man this uncle is. He thanked everyone 3 times whenever a new device is brought out on stage. Class act, Johnny Shi. Really big fan. Glad to be part of this magic.
You want him to adopt you, don't you?
I would not be opposed to that. There's going to be a lot more coming out of Computex 2017. Stay tuned for a whole lot more, and thanks for watching.